Good morning. It's Thursday, June 11th. Here's what we're working on.
I'm Simone Gavros reporting live in Hamilton. A downtown committee meeting is set to discuss a wide range of topics from minor repairs to urban pest control. I'll have more details coming up.
This is unacceptable. We're failing our children. Enough is enough.
We'll have more on the federal government's move to ban anyone under 16 from social media.
Brunson gets it, fires up a three. Shot no good, the triplet's gone!
And the Knicks pull off a thrilling comeback to win Game 4. Good morning. Step outside the door and you hit a wall of heat and humidity.
Yeah. It's a wall of water almost, right?
Yeah, it's that moisture in the atmosphere that we're feeling this morning. Yeah, the humidity is right up there, and the humidex this morning. Yeah, we really feel it. 27 is what it feels like, even though the temperature is 21. So it's a warm, but wait a minute, it's going to be a hot day today. We're going to climb into the 30s, just temperature alone. So 31 will be the forecast high for the day today. Then you factor in the humidity, it's going to feel like almost 40 for the day today. Yeah, so it's going to be a hot one. And we will get a little bit of sun, kind of like yesterday, a little bit of sun, but chance of showers and thunderstorms as the day progresses. We're not looking at an amount of precipitation like we were yesterday. Just could be some heavy downpours if we get some thunderstorm activity, and that is a risk for the day today. Tomorrow, it'll start to cool off a little bit, and then we're looking at a gorgeous, cooler day on Saturday. So we'll talk about all the details on that coming up in a few minutes. How about we have a look at traffic this morning? Not a lot happening. 403 Waterdown Road. That's our exclusive camera, doing fine at the moment. Not a lot of sun in your eyes this morning. It's fairly cloudy at the moment. Let's go to just a couple of MTO traffic cameras. We'll check the top of the Burlington Skyway Bridge, already starting to slow down as you head down toward North Shore Boulevard, Toronto bound away from us, of course. And we'll flip ahead to the Ford plant, Toronto bound towards us on that shot. No problems right there. Have word of a problem on Highway 6 north, right around Puslinch on the 401. We have a collision there that's been on the books for a little bit. We'll look at weather and traffic. Details coming up in a few minutes. Right now, the news.
Thank you, Brian. It's going to be a busy day at Hamilton's downtown subcommittee meeting this afternoon. Topics on the agenda range from minor infrastructure repairs to pest control in Gore Park. Simone Gavros joins us from downtown Hamilton live this morning with the rundown. Good morning, Simone.
Good morning, Rick. So the meeting is going to be starting at 1:30 later this afternoon, but there are over a dozen items that are going to be discussed today. As you mentioned, those two topics, there's also going to be discussions about noise control, pedestrian safety. But the one topic that we've discussed before here on Morning Live is the urban pest control issue. That discusses different items like rats, pigeons, and other wildlife that usually gather in Gore Park. Now, the city report says that there's an issue when it comes to actually controlling the rat population, because it can be challenging to get rid of them entirely, but they are coming up with different ways to mitigate it. Back in November of last year, staff were asked to look into measures to reduce the rat population downtown. The city has been working to reduce access to food, water, and shelter by maintaining plant beds where burrowing happens. And they've also been trying to pick up more litter. But the current method to reduce the rat population is strategic bait trapping. Some ideas to be considered in next year's budget include additional education, signage, and enforcement, which is estimated to cost around $40,000. Now, coming up this morning, we're going to have more details about what's going to be discussed in the downtown subcommittee meeting. There's a lot going on today. One of them is going to be about the Night Guides pilot project, which was launched during the Junos. They're going to be talking about how they're going to work that into the downtown strategy and how they're going to work into the nighttime strategy as well for downtown Hamilton. Annette, back over to you.
Okay, thanks very much. A 12-year-old Brantford girl has now been missing for more than a week. Kylie was reported missing Tuesday of last week at a home on Iroquois Street in Brantford. Brantford police have not released her last name. She has curly hair and a nose ring, and Kylie was last seen wearing a black T-shirt and black shorts. Brantford police want to verify that she's safe, and they're reaching out for information on her location.
The federal government has introduced the Safe Social Media Act, and if passed, it would restrict anyone under 16 from accessing social media and artificial intelligence.
This is unacceptable. We're failing our children. Enough is enough.
The act would place age restrictions on some social media sites and create a regulatory body. The bill requires regulated services like chatbots and social media platforms to act in the interest of protecting children and mandates transparency. One tech expert calls it a step in the right direction.
We've left it up to the technology companies to set the rules and decide what they will and will not do as a first step toward the government reclaiming control over what has essentially become the digital Wild West. I think it's an important first step.
Last December, Australia became the first country to restrict social media for those under 16. Since then, 5 million accounts belonging to teens have been shut down, but over half of parents surveyed said their kids are still able to access social media.
Canada's Privacy Commissioner is set to detail the findings of an investigation this morning into sexually explicit deepfakes that were generated by Elon Musk's Grok AI chatbot. Philip Dufresne has launched the investigation. He did it in January, saying that the images which were shared on X posed a serious risk to privacy rights. It looked at whether the companies involved are complying with Canada's privacy law and whether they obtained valid consent to collect, use, and disclose personal information to create the deepfakes, including explicit content. U.S. President Donald Trump says he doesn't want to renew the Canada-Mexico-U.S. trade agreement.
We don't need their cars. We don't need their lumber. We don't need their energy. We don't need anything.
By July 1st, the CUSMA deal requires the United States, Mexico, and Canada to confirm their renewal of the pact for 16 years or every year. Canada and Mexico have already said they want the 16-year renewal. Meantime, Ontario Premier Doug Ford and the Governor of Pennsylvania have signed an agreement to deepen economic ties, disagreeing with the U.S. president's sentiments on the trade deal.
I do not believe that the president is right in suggesting that we don't need each other. I think our economies are linked, and they should be linked.
Now, Democratic Governor Josh Shapiro joined Ford at Queen's Park to sign a non-binding memorandum of understanding with Ontario. It is aimed at deepening economic ties in areas like energy, critical minerals, and advanced manufacturing. Well, a team from Hamilton's McMaster University has been studying very old squirrel poop. They are among researchers looking at ancient ground squirrel droppings that were preserved in Yukon permafrost for up to 700,000 years. Those droppings have provided the scientists with one of the oldest collections of DNA ever recovered. The researchers extracted environmental DNA from fossilized pellets, uncovering genetic traces of woolly mammoths, horses, bison, wolves, big cats, and more than 200 plant groups. The scientists say the discovery could help explain how plants and animals responded to past climate change and provide clues about how many species may adapt to today's warming conditions. Metrolinx has announced schedule changes to accommodate a huge increase in traffic along GO lines with the World Cup kicking off. Trains will now run every 15 minutes along the Lakeshore West line every day until July 5th. GO bus service to Niagara Falls will also be increased during the tournament. Regular service will resume July 20th. We have more details up on our website at chch.com.
Game 4 of the NBA Finals gave basketball fans something they've never seen before. Trailing the next 2 games to 1 going into last night's game at MSG, San Antonio roared out of the gates, leading 41-22 after the first quarter and 76-49 at halftime. The Spurs led by as many as 29 points in the third before New York started to chip away. And former Raptor OG Anunoby was a big reason why. Anunoby went 10 for 15 from the field, including 7 of 9 from beyond the arc and 6 for 6 at the foul line. While teammate Jalen Brunson hit a big 3 with 2 minutes to go as New York climbed all the way back to make it a 1-possession game. And this one went right down to the wire.
Brunson gets it, fires up a 3. Shot no good. The tip, it's gone! It's gone! It's gone! With 1.2 remaining, Knicks take the lead.
Anunoby tipped in the winning bucket with 1.2 seconds remaining as the Knicks beat the Spurs 107-106 to complete the biggest comeback in finals history. Bedlam at the Garden. Adam Sandler can't believe it. Neither can Jerry Seinfeld. Taylor Swift and friends are beside themselves. Pardon me, I'm getting all verklempt. 29 points down to a 3-1 series lead, and New York is now one win away from winning their first title since 1973. Anunoby finished with 33 points. Brunson had 36. Victor Wembanyama led the Spurs with 24 points. Brittany Sykes tied her career high with 38 points as the Toronto Tempo beat Connecticut 106-102 in overtime in Commissioner's Cup play. Toronto trailed by as many as 14 points in the second quarter before winning for the fourth time in 5 games to improve to 7-5.
It's actually off the heels of Troisi. Now Masuda dipping, ball spilled and cleaned up by Wright.
Hamilton's Forge FC keeps rolling. Brian Wright scored in the 57th minute as Forge blanked the Halifax Wanderers 1-0 at Hamilton Stadium. The victory boosts Forge to a Canadian Premier League best 8-1-1. We are sending good vibes to Burlington's Victoria Mboko after the 19-year-old suffered a knee injury at the HSBC Championships in London. She retired from her singles match yesterday, down 2-6 and up 4-3 in the second set, and walked off the court in tears. Now, it's not known if she'll be healthy enough to play her doubles quarterfinal today with Serena Williams. The Blue Jays must feel a little shell-shocked this morning. Bryce Harper, Alex Bohm, and Kyle Schwarber each hit home runs as the Phillies beat the Blue Jays 7-4 to take 2 of 3 games in Toronto. Harper and Bohm homered off Max Scherzer, who allowed 5 runs on 5 hits in 3+ innings of work in his first game back from the injured list. Scherzer did become the 11th big leaguer to reach 3,500 career strikeouts when he caught Schwarber looking at an 86-mile-per-hour changeup to begin the game. The 42-year-old 3-time Cy Young Award winner dropped to 1-4 on the season. After losing their season opening game last week, the Hamilton Tiger Cats are in Winnipeg tonight, where they hope to avoid an 0-2 start for the 7th straight year. It'll also be the first time the Ticats face former teammate Tim White after the receiver joined the Blue Bombers in the offseason. It's the day footy fans have been patiently waiting for. 4 years after Argentina won it all, the FIFA World Cup kicks off today. Co-host Mexico will open the tournament at 3 p.m. Eastern against South Africa. Tonight at 10, South Korea will play Czechia. Canada takes on Bosnia and Herzegovina tomorrow in Toronto. The Niagara River Lions lost 104-93 against Scarborough last night, and the Canadian Open Golf Tournament tees off this morning at TPC Toronto, where Dundas's Mackenzie Hughes is one of 20 Canucks in the field.
All right, 13 minutes after 6 o'clock. It is Thursday morning. Yay, we made it. We're getting closer all the time to the weekend, and we've got a hot one on tap for the day today, and I'll talk about the weather forecast in a sec. First of all, it's a quick check on traffic. Not a lot happening right now. That's the 403 right around Waterdown Road, so coming out of Hamilton towards us on that shot, doing okay. Going to St. Catharines, we'll check the Garden City Skyway. Nothing's happening there. We'll check that other Skyway. Here's the Burlington side of the Burlington Skyway down toward North Shore. Nothing happening there either. We'll flip ahead to east of Appleby. Hey, there's some sunshine. Whoa, enjoy that if you see it. It's fairly cloudy in Hamilton right now. Ford plant looks good all the way through Cawthra. A little bit more sunshine as you head toward the east. Okay, let's get to our temperature that we have right now. Temperature in Hamilton has just fallen. We were 21. We've now come down to 20, but the humidex is still 27. So it's a muggy start to our morning. The winds are light. The sky is mostly cloudy in Hamilton. The temperature today for school, we're going to hit 31 degrees later on. Then you factor in the humidity. It's going to feel like 39. Bit of a southwest wind. And there's that shower thunderstorm scenario once again, but we'll see some sun. Here's the satellite radar picture from the past 6 hours. It's a loop, keeps repeating. You can see there are some thunderstorms around us going through Lake Erie into New York State. We're going to be in the warm sector of air for today into tomorrow. And then by Saturday, with that cold front going through, the temperature should come down and we're going to get some clearing. So we'll see some sun later in the day tomorrow into Saturday. But a hot one today, 30, 31 degrees, sunshine, but then we have a chance of showers and thunderstorms, a little cooler for Guelph and Kitchener. Tonight stays warm. Temperatures only fall to around 20 to 21 for the Horseshoe. Showers and thunderstorms once again quite possible. And then tomorrow, well, we'll start off with a chance of a shower or thunderstorm, and then we'll start to see some clearing. A little bit cooler tomorrow, 27, 28 degrees for the Horseshoe. So out the door, it's the 11th morning of June. Temperature right now sitting at 20. It is mostly cloudy. Long range coming up in a few minutes. Annette, Rick.
Thanks, Brian. Coming up after the break, Emily's back this morning. She'll have a preview of what's ahead in Chit Chat. And in business news, the stock debut of Canadian pharma giant Apotex is boosted by investor demand. We'll have more on that after the break. 6:17 on your Thursday morning. We say good morning to Emily. What is coming up in Chit Chat?
Hi, good morning, guys. Glenn Close is finally getting an Oscar.
About time.
Wow.
Right? I think she's been nominated about 14 times. So
I am so shocked that she hasn't won.
Yeah.
Me too.
Glenn
She's
Close.
fabulous.
Yeah.
I know. We'll take a look at the brand new trailer, and probably the final trailer, but maybe not, for Moana. And The Social Network has a new sequel coming out. We shall discuss.
Ooh, all right. Lots
Okay.
of juicy stuff. Thanks, Emily. To business news we go, and the Canadian dollar is down this morning. It's at 71.59 cents U.S. Gold is down $10 an ounce, and oil is down $1.21 to $88.88 U.S. a barrel. In midday European trading, London, Frankfurt, and Paris all slightly ahead this hour.
On the Asian markets, only Tokyo finished ahead, and just by a slim margin. At close yesterday, North American markets lost all ground, with the TSX dropping 260 points, the Dow down almost 1,000.
Strong investor demand has increased the size and price of a Canadian drug giant's stock debut. Apotex is boosting its initial public offering from $1 billion to $1.3 billion. Shares will be priced at $24 each, up from an initial price of between $20 to $24. Apotex Health Corporation is now owned by a private equity company, but was founded by Barry Sherman, who was murdered with his wife Honey in 2017.
A Hamilton company is at the center of an angry rebuke from Russia. Russia is calling Canada a warmonger for a new deal that would see drones made in Hamilton sent to Ukraine's front lines. Those drones would be produced by Sentinel R&D. It is a private defense contractor whose Hamilton location is not publicly listed for security reasons. A Russian Foreign Ministry spokeswoman has told a media briefing in Moscow that the world should know the address of that drone facility.
Canada and Turkey are reviving efforts toward a free trade agreement, with both countries agreeing to restart preliminary discussions aimed at expanding their economic partnership. Previous talks in 2010 and 2013 failed to advance because negotiators couldn't find enough common ground. International Trade Minister Maninder Sidhu says renewed interest reflects growing commercial opportunities between the two countries. Yes, Turkey is also showing strong interest in Canada's CANDU nuclear reactor technology, a potential area for future cooperation.
A judge in LA has denied motions by Meta and YouTube to set aside a jury's verdict after they were found liable in a young woman's social media addiction that harmed her mental health. The companies were ordered to pay millions in damages. YouTube had argued a section in the U.S. First Amendment shielded them from liability, and Meta had made similar arguments, saying the woman did not prove her claims. The judge ruled that there was substantial evidence that she was harmed by designed features on both Instagram and YouTube. Both companies plan to appeal the verdict.
Health Canada has recalled a vape cartridge sold in Ontario after finding a labeling error that understated its THC content by nearly half. The affected product, Wild West 96 plus Strawberry Stampede Liquid Diamonds 510 vape, was labeled as containing 500 milligrams of THC per gram, when the actual concentration was 981 milligrams per gram. Health Canada warns the incorrect label could lead to overconsumption and temporary adverse health effects, including confusion, an elevated heart rate, and lower blood pressure. All right, quick break right now. Yeah, Brian's going to be back with your traffic update and 7-day weather forecast. Stay with us.
6:24 already, checking our MTO traffic cameras. That's Ministry of Transportation Ontario. And we're looking at the Garden City Skyway. Here's the east side this time, and nothing has really changed there. Grays Road, Stony Creek is still very light volume. Different story on the other side of the Burlington Skyway Bridge. That's just south of 2 or North Shore Boulevard. Starting to get pretty busy as you head around the bend toward Branch Street. Lauren Park looks good through Mississauga, and the 403 going through Mississauga. No problems. That's just west of Mississauga Road. Okay, so temperatures that we have starting out the morning here. Temperature sitting at 20 degrees in Hamilton, humidex of 27, so it's a muggy start to our morning. 18 for Toronto, 22 Mississauga, 23 into Grimsby. So seasonal temperatures right there for this time of year. 24 now for the daytime high and 12 for the overnight low, and we are way above that to start our morning. Sun times and records for the day today. And for school today, should be 25 degrees for the first bell this morning, and then look at that temperature for afterwards. 31 degrees will be the high for the day today, and then you factor in the humidity, so the humidity will make it feel like 39 today. We'll have some showers, we'll have some thunderstorms. So, long-range forecast. Wait for the ball to go through. Okay, go. Okay, don't want to get in the... Yes, exactly. Okay. Oh, next time I'll give it a good headbutt. Next time. Okay. So 31 for the day today, 20 overnight tonight. Again, showers and thunderstorms. A little bit cooler for tomorrow. 27 feeling like 30, but again, showers, thunderstorms could start our day and then some sunshine later. Sun and 26 degrees on Saturday. Beautiful day. Then we get some showers for Sunday and back to some sunshine, but cooler temperatures next week. That's your forecast. Annette, right?
Thanks, Brian. A private island near Venice that's owned by the Swarovski family is up for sale.
The price tag, $27 million US. The 72-acre Isola Santa Cristina has a 9-bedroom villa and produces its own wine. This is the first time in more than 40 years that it's been on the market. The island also has a freshwater spring, so that serves as an organic fish farm. All of that means you would basically never have to leave. Wow. But if you do need something, hey, Venice is just a 20-minute boat ride away. So I assume you'd have a boat and a captain as well. The island has been abandoned since the 15th century until the Swarovski family bought it in the 1980s.
Stunning.
Well, that is quite beautiful.
Wow. $27 million.
Yeah.
Which I don't. Stay with us. More to come after the break here on Morning Live. That was phenomenal.
Really? And for an island, that's